A journey to where nature is at her most magnificent and forbidding. To mysterious places where dazzling and diverse cultures flourish. Where China's numerous ethnic groups draw you into a world of color and vibrancy. Where distinct lifestyles, traditions, and crafts have survived the test of time. Join Travelogue on its 17-part ethnic Odyssey, visiting more than 100 places across China. Ethnic Odyssey, an enlightened look at China's rich ethnic heritage.
In this week's episode of Travelogue, we explore the oldest grottos in China, go on a shopping spree with Uyghur friends in Kashgar, and rediscover a long-lost form of music. Variety in China's landscape, diversity of its people. Welcome to Travelogue's Minority Series. You're traveling from Kucha to Kashgar with me, Michelle Lin. In Xinjiang, you've already seen the lives of the local modern Uyghur minority. But where does local culture come from? What's influenced it? Let's go find out. Xinjiang is the largest province in China with a unique geographical condition and cultural heritage. South of the Tian Shan Mountains in Xinjiang are numerous cities populated by Uyghur people. In ancient times, these cities were part of the Silk Road. At this time, the western end of Hesi Corridor was split into three. In this area, numerous kingdoms flourished. One of them was the kingdom of Chuzi, known today as Kucha. Kucha is located in the south of Xinjiang, at the southern foot of the Tian Shan Mountains. Kucha is a Uyghur word meaning communications hub. Located in Kucha is a grotto complex that is the oldest, largest, and most westerly in all of China, the Kizil 1000 Buddha Caves. The murals that cover the walls of the caves have a definite Indian influence, seen in the clothes and mannerisms. Many of the murals are of a typically Gandharan style. That's a combination of the spirit of Indian Buddhism and ancient Greek art. There's considerable debate as to when precisely Buddhism was introduced into China, but most researchers believe it was around the 1st century that Buddhism reached Xinjiang, and from there, spread to the rest of China. There's something typically ancient Greek in the long faces, high noses, beards, and dress robes in these murals. In its interpretation of Buddhist legend, Gandhara art incorporated many motifs and techniques from the classical Roman art, including vine scrolls, cherubs bearing garlands, tritons, and centaurs. The basic symbolism, however, remained Indian. These murals are breathtakingly beautiful. It's so amazing that it's about 2,000 years old. It's so sad. This part right here has been stolen by thieves. I hate when people do stuff like that. I mean, art's meant to be shared, you know? And like, I was told that these holes right here used to hold the statues in place. In the event of an earthquake or a natural disaster, they would be protected. It's such a pity that you can't still see them now. Besides the themes of Buddha and Buddhist legend, there's a lot more to see here. Depictions of daily life, For example, mountains and rivers in the western region, animals, birds, and ancient architecture. You really get a sense of what life must have been like back then just by looking at these murals. If the murals are anything to go by, songs and dances must have featured prominently in the daily life of the people of Kucha. The famous Tang Dynasty monk Xuanzang is quoted as saying, "Of all the countries I have visited, none has music more developed than Kucha." The story goes that once the Tang Emperor listened to Kucha music for 5 days and nights. Kucha music was in fact a big hit in the Tang Dynasty around the 7th century. The paintings are a reminder of the lost songs and dances of long ago. More than that, they are a key reference for rediscovering these lost arts. I met up with 2 dancers and they tell me that the traditional dances have been recreated by analyzing the paintings. They offer to show me some of their moves. The dance describes the story of the aspars who flew down to earth. As portrayed in the murals, the movements are graceful and fluid. What impresses me most of all is the amount of time, effort, and research that obviously went into recreating the dances of long ago. Kucha is a city with a long and culturally rich history, and while Uyghur people today live in a modern city, they still maintain some forms of their traditional lifestyle. For example, the headgears still worn by the women and the dopas by the men. Another example is the use of donkey carts. It can be very unnerving to be stuck in what I can only call a donkey jam. The use of donkeys as a means of transport is so prevalent that Kucha is often referred to as the town on the back of the donkey. There are over 40,000 donkeys here, compared to the human population of 400,000. That's a 1-to-10 ratio. It's no wonder they joke that there's enough donkeys in Kucha to carry everyone in the country. That's not to say that there aren't any cars, but really, what's the point of a petrol-guzzling machine when there's donkey power? The people of Kucha definitely know how to slow down and enjoy life as it comes. Besides the traditional means of transport, you'll also find that the Uyghur people still listen to traditional music, such as the 12 Muqam. In the mid-16th century, the imperial concubine Amani Sahan of the Kingdom of Yarkand decided to compose a piece of music in 12 cycles. They became the 12 Muqam, which can be divided into 3 large sections, each containing 25 to 30 melodic sub-branches. Muqam, as a combination of folk and dance, was made popular across the rest of China by the famous Muqam master Turdi Ahun and the musician Wang Tongshu. Nowadays, you can find copies of the 12 Muqam in Uyghur, Chinese, Arabic, and even English. The wedding party has arrived. It's customary for the bride and groom to pass a lit fire together. The idea being it symbolizes that later in life they'll be able to confront any difficulties they may encounter as a married couple.
I've been to so many Uyghur homes, but we've yet to catch a wedding. We're so lucky to be able to have done that today. I'm gonna go congratulate the newlyweds. Yeah. Oh, Tony Aska, Mubarak Boson.
When the bridal party arrives at the groom's home, they find the doors are closed. The custom is to first ask the groom's parents politely to open the doors for the bride. This they do, although not before telling the bride that once inside their house, she must be respectful of the elders living there. Now, what the host is shouting is, "The girl from the bazaar looks like gold." This said, she proclaims the couple well-matched since the bride is beautiful and the groom dashing. All this is said before the elders and friends are asked to wish them a good life together. While everyone else is dancing and generally making merry, the close female relatives and friends are busy arranging the wedding gifts that will help the couple prepare for their new life together. I figured I'd make myself useful and help out too. We stay only long enough to dance the mashallah. Traditionally, Uyghur weddings are grand affairs, and the celebrations may last up to 3 days. To my mind, they deserve a good celebration after all the hard work they've put in, from the matchmaking and proposal to the negotiations on the betrothal gifts, the betrothal ceremony, and the religious ceremony, right up to the wedding itself. Located 20 kilometers northeast of Kucha County, at the foot of Tian Shan Mountains, are the ruins of an ancient temple called the Subash Buddhist remains. It is divided